educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Come Along Radio, the only show on the internet that covers the rich history and the sweet sounds of city pop. I'm your host, Rocket Brown, and I'm ready to get down. I've got a special friend with me today. You might remember Jay Canuck from Kyoku Plus.
Hello everyone, this is Jay Canuck from Kyoku Plus. Glad to be back on the show.
Yeah, we got a special treat for you guys today. We're going to be doing a special album review. It's For You by Tatsuro Yamashita, 1982. It's been called the greatest, most iconic city pop album of all time. When people think of like songs, like city pop songs, most people think of Plastic Love. And when people think of albums, this is the one. It's got probably the most iconic cover done by Aizen Suzuki. It's got, some of the most iconic songs in city pop history, but does it hold up as a full package? That's the question we're gonna answer today. Before we jump into this first song, what's your experience with For You?
I would say Rocket. It's certainly one of my favorite albums in the city pop field. I mean, I don't think there's really any particular track that's kind of out of sync with the rest of the album. But yeah, I mean, I have a okay. Yeah, I think we know where we're going to be talking about a little bit later on.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to
that. Yeah. But there are a lot of great tracks on there, such as Loveland Island, Music Book Sparkle, which is the first track.
Right.
And of course, Yamashita's cover of Morning Glory, which was originally done for Maria Takeuchi a couple of years ago for her Miss M album.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be honest, I haven't listened to this album in full in about 2 years. This is going to be my first time listening to the album in a long time.
Yeah,
so
it's nice to kind of come at it. Yeah, it's really nice to come at it with I guess refreshed ears in a way.
So I'm pretty excited. I hope everyone else is excited. If you guys obviously agree or disagree with any of our opinions, feel free to leave your thoughts on each of the songs or the album in general in the comment section below. By the way, just for the record, if you guys want to listen to the whole songs, unfortunately we won't be able to post the whole songs in the album review for copyright reasons. So if you want to listen to the whole album, get it on Discogs, please. It's a good album. But we'll also post a link to the album in the comments below so you can listen to the album. So without further ado, let's get into our first track. My day just instantly became better. That was Sparkle by Tatsuro Yamashita. Godly.
That is how you begin an album.
And to be fair, Tats has always been great with opening numbers for albums. But this one takes the cake. Like once you hear that riff, it's like that's when it gets real.
What part of the arrangement hit you like the orange juice?
Oh, guitar.
Was it the horns? Was it
the guitar?
The guitar.
Yeah, the freaking that Telecaster riff. That's so iconic.
Yeah,
like that's probably the most iconic sound in just not just city, but just J-pop in general. Like I didn't even care. I was listening to Space Dandy while I was watching Space Dandy and the anime. It's a good show. You guys should watch it. But there's an episode to I don't know if it's the beach episode or if it's the dating episode. I think it's the dating episode. But they play because they're on vacation, right? They play this summery like vacation track, and it begins. And even though it's like an electronic song, they have the Sparkle riff.
Yeah, they had the Telecaster.
Yeah, they had like that's how iconic it is.
Telecaster
it's like
riff,
when you make summer music, it's just that it's synonymous, right? Like you hear it on you heard it in a whole bunch of songs afterwards. You hear it in If You Want to Dance from Toshiki Kanamatsu. Fujimoto does his own version of the riff in his debut solo album in the song "Who Are You," right? The freaking that band, the band that Shiro Sakisu was in with Junko Yaga's husband. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. You're talking about. Yeah, I mean, you're talking. I think his name is last name is John.
Yeah,
Stanley,
John J. Stanley. Yeah,
John J. Stanley. But I forgot what the net band's name. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
which
they have a song called "Woman That I Love" that has the riff. You hear it everywhere. I can't think of a better way to begin a song.
Yeah, so basically what you got here is like you got yourself the Steely Dan chord, the Doobie Brothers bounce, and now you got the Yamashita riff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously everything else is just like obviously that's the foundation, right? Everything else is just icing on the cake, right? The saxophone that comes in towards the end, the backing chorus, singing "Wonder in My Life" and stuff like that. The freaking howling that Tats does at the end of the song. It's like it gives you that feeling where like just this big wave hitting you.
I mean the interesting thing about it as well, if I'm reading the liner notes for Sparkle correctly, is that Yamashita actually bought his Telecaster in 1980. And after that, it's been basically those two have been inseparable.
Yep, absolutely.
So again, yeah, it's like the best combination of the Minako Yoshida, Tatsuro Yamashita, I guess working relationship.
Oh, did she do the lyrics for this one too?
She did the lyrics for Sparkle and the next track, Music Book.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's a really good one. But yeah, Sparkle already starting strong. This next song is actually a really underrated Tat song, so I'm pretty excited about it. This is Music Book. Beautiful, majestic, outstanding.
Any adjective you like.
Yeah, any adjective you like. So that was Music Book.
Oh, what can I say? I mean, great horns. I mean, led by Shin Kazuhara on the trumpet. Wonderful trombone solo by Shigeharu Mukai. I mean, it was it's an incredible song. It just puts you into that that summer mood.
Thank you,
which
Mukai,
is
for the horns. Yeah, the horns are definitely the highlight of this song in particular.
Yeah.
I personally like that there's that section where it's just the drums and the backing vocals and Tats. Like that's for me, that's the best part of the song. It's just like, it's just, those are the vocals of Minako Yoshida there, right there for sure. Yeah, it's also her music book apparently.
Yeah, apparently Tats saw the words music book scribbled down on her notebook and said, "Hey, why don't we make a song out of this?" Okay,
let's do that.
Yeah, only happens in the music world, I guess.
Right.
Amazing.
I know, inspiration comes from everywhere. No, I really like this song. It's really relaxing. Like it's upbeat enough to where you could go for a walk and listen to this song, but it's also just a really chill song compared to Sparkle. Anyways, I love it. It puts you in a good mood. That's what Tats does too. He's very good at that.
Yeah, it was a good and since its music book was also the B side or the coupling song to Amaku to Sweet and Dangerous
single
as well.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's right. It was so I mean a great combination there.
Yeah, two very chill tracks on the album. We'll get to that one in a little bit. One of the things that this album does that's very interesting is it has interludes. They're very cool. I was kind of surprised just because it was something that Tats planned to do for his previous album, but he didn't get to put it into the final version. But he did, if I remember, he did add it to For You, and they came out really good. They're not like instrumentals. They're like his signature like acapella doo-wop style vocals and stuff like that. It's pretty neat. So we'll take a listen to that as we get into the next song.
Morning glory,
and thus begun the tradition of Tatsuro Yamashita going, I could do better than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, artists are never truly satisfied.
No, they're not. For those of you who don't know, Morning Glory was originally a track on Maria Takeuchi's album Miss M, which was recorded in LA. It was composed by Tatsuro Yamashita, but it was arranged by David Foster. And I like both, but I want to know which one you prefer.
For me?
Yeah.
I wrote an article on Kaio Kyoku Plus back in, I think it was 2012, so it's one of the earliest articles I've written.
Yeah.
And it was about Morning Glory, under both Tatsuro Yamashita's and Maria Takeuchi's names. And at the time I wrote that, I also mentioned that I really couldn't find anything wrong with either version. I think now that I listen to it over and over, I think maybe Tatsuro Yamashita's version is maybe slightly slower in tempo than the Maria original.
Well, not just that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But also, you notice the beginning is a lot more. I don't know if the word is subtle, but it's a lot less.
Yeah.
Bomb.
Yeah,
because it doesn't begin with just the full orchestration on the bat. It begins with. The song itself is waking up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just starts with the piano and stuff like that.
It's just a cute little piano beginning, and then, Yamashita's vocals come in.
Yeah, and then if you take into account the interlude, where it's just, you got the voices, right? And then the piano, it's like, that's like the full experience of just like waking up in the morning. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, like after several years later, after it's like I decided, I got the Airplay album with David Foster and Jake Graydon in it, and listening to Maria Takeuchi's Morning Glory, I thought, okay, this does sound like an Airplay type song.
Yeah.
Just from the arrangement or so, eh? Or maybe even because of the horns, I thought even maybe Chicago could have covered this. The band Chicago.
Probably, yeah.
But as we've just discussed, it's like when Yamashita kind of listened to it, he kind of said, it's a little bit too AOR for my liking. I'd like to do a cover of it for my next album.
I guess I don't know what he was thinking. I just I never know what's in that man's head.
I'm sure Maria kind of thought of that many times herself, but it's like, I think sometimes, like with any married couple, I'm sure Maria and Tatsuro have had their tiffs, and I'm sure maybe one of them was Morning Glory. I can only imagine.
You think one of them was Morning Glory?
I think it could have been. I mean, I can just imagine the neighbors like hearing them argue and stuff like that, and the neighbor's wife talking to the husband saying they're arguing about flowers. I don't know what's going on. What are they talking about flowers? So it's like Morning Glory. It's like, what's the problem here? It's like,
all right. Yeah. I can never understand those two. No, I think both are good. I think I do like Maria's vocals on the previous one, but I think the arrangement on the Tats version is superior. Just for that beginning alone, I think it definitely, the song, like I said, it's like he made it so where the song itself is waking up. You know what I mean? So
so basically, Tatsuro was kind of creating that mood, especially with his Morning Glory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, beautiful.
It hits you really hard, doesn't it? Eh?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, what's really special? So this album came out after Tats and Maria got married. So
it could have been just as much a very personal love song, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. But man, I think this is a very underrated Tats ballad. I almost said a talent. Tats ballad. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about it often.
Yeah, but it's like as we were listening to the song, I was like looking at the some of the comments in the YouTube video for the which has a song on it. It's like, yeah, a lot of people were very moved by Study. Just this is the type of song that you'd want to hear at your own wedding. To that level.
Absolutely, especially the second part when the what's it called, the "We're Together Eternally" part kicks in, and they start doing all the vocal stuff like that. That part's amazing. Yeah,
and I'd say, if I were to recommend a song based on his vocals alone, it would be Study.
Absolutely, I can't stress enough. Sometimes there's songs that that have a really that start off strong but don't know how to end. Like either you get like that awkward fade to black, right, or fade out,
right,
or it just stops abruptly.
Yeah,
but like Tats is really good at like ending a song on a strong note. You know what I'm saying? And this is no exception.
Certainly. Yeah, that's just one of his amazing things. He just has that falsetto that can just soar.
Yeah.
Don't know how too many other people who can make that, can hold that note for such a long time. I think maybe Misha might be one of the other singers that is capable of that.
Nisha, okay, I've never heard of her.
Misha, yeah, she's an R&B singer who debuted almost, I think, a little over 20 years ago. But she's also got one extremely fine voice.
Nice. Yeah, man, this is a really good song.
Yeah. Also want to mention that Hiroshi Sato is he passed away a few years ago.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. He did the piano. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I forgot about that. This was around the same time. And I could be wrong. I think this was around the same time he was recording Awakening.
It was in the same year.
Yeah.
82, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think they were both in LA. Yeah, he did a really good job on the piano. I really love when the piano kicks in the beginning. It's almost like a very, not ragtime. I don't know how to describe it. It's a very bluesy piano, obviously. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, somewhere I think, somewhere in that jazz blues realm, I would say. It's very elegant. How it was played.
Absolutely.
It's, just like something you would hear in a nightclub, for example.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, really good instrumentation, awesome, soothing, romantic vocals.
This is absolutely a love song from start to finish.
Yeah, he killed it. Yeah, that's all I can really say is he killed it. That was Love Land Island.
Another banger.
Now I'm curious. Was Love Land was recorded specifically for the commercial, right? The Suntory beer commercial.
That's right. It was for a Suntory beer commercial that Yamashita was requested to make the song.
Right.
And apparently, we were having a discussion before as well, but apparently. He was the beat, the tempo, I guess, the beats per minute he got from watching the actual commercial over and over again, based on how the woman, I'm assuming it's the Brazilian woman, was walking down the street and was dancing, and then he kind of figured out, okay, maybe the way she's moving will be the tempo at which Love Land Island will be set at.
Well,
and I guess that's how the general rhythm. So I'm sure he was probably playing this a whole lot in his house. I'm not sure if Maria was too pleased by that or so, but he could probably say it's like this is research. It's like I gotta do research, honey. Gotta do this. So
yeah, that's fair.
Fair, and he's gonna stick to that story.
Yeah. Now, was the commercial filmed in Brazil?
I think it was actually.
I always assumed it was Hawaii.
I'm not sure, but the woman was identified as Brazilian, so I assumed it was maybe it was actually filmed somewhere in Rio or thereabouts. But I think I sent you the YouTube link to the commercial.
Yeah, I've seen that commercial before.
Yeah, and so it's up there. Yeah. Although I think maybe as well I'm not sure if it's because of the quality of the commercial, but yeah, I mean the song sounds a little bit slower in the commercial version, and I think maybe even the lyrics may have been different back then.
Well, the only real difference is, instead of saying "I love you," he says "Century Beer," because obviously it's you gotta mention the product there. So yeah, gotta have your obligatory product placement. But other than that, the song's pretty similar. It was just the chorus and then the Century Beer. Obviously, he's not gonna sing about Century Beer in the album.
No. Well, he won't. He will definitely not do that.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to make a shout out for the guy who was in the saxophone. He's been on the saxophone for a lot of the other songs we've just heard as well. Hidefumi Toki.
Hidefumi Toki is a really good saxophone player.
Yeah, and his daughter has also been a longtime singer and songwriter herself, Asako Toki, and I just have also a few of her albums.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, and she's of course created some of her own work, but she's also done covers of folks like Yellow Magic Orchestra, and she's even done a cover of Michael Jackson's "Human Nature" from the Thriller LP.
Okay, I know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely, just also another fine singer as well.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I do. Hidefumi Toki. I think he's been a saxophonist for Tats for a minute. He did a really good job on this song. Love the tropical Latin dance groove. It's just the perfect vacation song. I don't know what else to say. It really sets the mood.
Yeah. I mean, this is the type of song you actually want to be like in some sort of a Cessna or something like that, flying over the islands while you're listening to this song.
Yeah, I actually played this song on my actual cruise to the Caribbean, and it was perfect. I think it was St. Martin, I think it was called. Okay. But yeah, I played Omega Tribe, obviously, but it just fit the environment so well.
Were you on one of the Royal Caribbean cruise ships?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, the destination was Haiti, but we stopped in like different spots along the way, like Puerto Rico and stuff like that. And you better believe I was playing freaking Loveland Island almost the entire time.
And who'd have thought that a city pop song would even include a harpist in there?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you have a harp starting things off for Loveland Island. So
it fits so well because it's just like it's the songs take you on this majestic island resort vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was the right instrument of choice. Loveland Island. Mm-hmm. The song is amazing. So we're getting pretty close to my favorite track on the album. This is Love Talkin'. So I had to get my funk on for a minute.
Well, I'm not gonna delve too much into what that means, but yeah, it's a great song. It's a grand song.
No, listen, man. Like, you don't understand. Like, it's one of those things where I'm conflicted because I love Sparkle.
Yeah, sure.
But I love Talkin'. It's such a. I would say Love Talkin' is my personal favorite song on the album, and appropriately enough, it's probably I think the second most famous song on the album, considering that it's been in some of the most famous vaporwave and future funk remixes by like Saint Pepsi,
right?
And a bunch of other people,
and Young Bay.
Yeah, and Young Bay, just because of how freaking smooth it is, man. Like, oh my god, that's where the this is the part of the album where the Tat's Isley Brothers roots start kicking in. Just the funky rhythm, but also like that. Oh man, that guitar solo. I need more disco songs with guitar riffs. I swear to God, man. Because for a while that was that was mainly like a Isley Brothers signature. Because they were like, I think they were like one of the first R&B soul groups to kind of like fuse, rock and roll with R&B and funk music, and it was great because you heard it in stuff like Liquid Love, Voyage to Atlantis, and a bunch of other iconic songs that were just like, they were clearly like disco R&B songs, but they had like tinges of like rock, psychedelic rock to them and stuff like that. And Tats, you know, being a big Isley fan, you know, you could hear his influence in like Bomber and Downtown and a bunch of other songs, but like this is the song where it's like it culminates into something that's like purely original, whereas because like I can't really compare this song to like any other Isley Brothers song.
Yeah, I mean it's a Tats original, you know, to be sure. I think also, if I may say, the latter half of the song where the vocals really start coming in between Yamashita and also Minako Yoshida, who again came up with the lyrics for this one. I mean, it's a very, they just seem to work absolutely in sync with each other.
Yeah, that was,
when it comes to harmony.
That was magical, dude. Where he starts doing that little, he starts spitting game and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm singing about it, and all that stuff was just, that was tight. That was like genuinely like, wow, that was sick. I love it.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the song. Well, the best part of the song is the guitar solo, but like it just keeps escalating. That's the thing.
So it's basically like, you know, going to your favorite buffet restaurant. There's something for everybody to love, I would say.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to put it, man. I can't disagree with that. Love Talking is my. Like I said, I know a lot of people love Sparkle. It's a great song, but Love Talking, that's the dessert. Like Sparkle is that's the what do you call it? Not the appetizer. I guess the appetizer, right? But like
maybe the appetizer, the salad, maybe if you want.
But if you insist. But Love Talking, that's the dessert, man. That's
a dessert, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so what was the main course? Was it the study?
That's a good question. I'm not sure what the main course was, but we're about to get to.
We're going to get the. Is this like the natto of your feelings for the album here? Yeah, this is Hey Reporter, I take it, eh?
Yes, it is. So that was Hey Reporter.
Let me ask you then, how did you think of it?
So for the record, I just want to be clear. I don't hate the song. I don't even dislike the song. I think the song is actually pretty great. It just on this album, it just feels like a totally different vibe. Like I remember when I first heard For You in its entirety. I was just listening to it on YouTube while I was working, and I heard the guitar come on. I'm just like, did YouTube skip the video? Like, is this a different album? Oh, it's the same album. Like, I just didn't think it belonged on that album. The aesthetic of the song was just so different because, like, we went from, you know, resort pop and disco and R&B to like sort of a still funky, but like grungier, like pop rock song, for lack of a better word. It just felt weird to listen to after listening to, like, you know, Futari and everything else. I still enjoyed the song though, on its own.
But you just didn't feel that it quite fit the whole aesthetic For You.
Yeah, he did a compilation album specifically dedicated to his more rock and funk oriented songs. So it has like Bomber and Hot Shot and Hey Reporter and a few others. And it was pretty cool. It was like, yeah, I could see where he was going with it. Listening to it now, I feel like I was probably too hard on Hey Reporter. Just because it's like, especially when you consider like we're coming after Love Talking, and Love Talking just had that sick guitar solo, right? It was also a very funky song. But it's just the big difference with Hey Reporter is that the tempo is slower and the guitars are a lot more prevalent and they're a lot harder in that sense. So, but yeah, I like I said, good song. It's just it's not one that I go back to often. Tats's vocals, I don't know what he was. I don't know what he was going for with this song. Cause like,
I mean, I think that was the most notable. That was, I thought, the most notable thing about Hey Reporter was just even how he said reporter. I mean, it wasn't like the usual, the katakana thing there, like reporter, for example. He actually said it
he said, hey,
as if, reporter.
It's almost as if this song is very personal.
Well, interesting story about that. I'm not sure if you've heard about it, but apparently, and then we had this discussion before with Christmas Eve, which is, arguably his most famous song for non-Tatsuro Yamashita fans.
Yeah, for I'll Show You, yeah.
Yeah, the I'll Show You thing. Because it's like, and just to kind of like, remind people how Christmas Eve came about. I mean, at one point, Tatsuro Yamashita was just kind of waved off as that, that summer song guy.
He was typecasted in a music sense.
He was typecast in there. And so he kind of got a little miffed about that. He said, well, I'll show you. I'm going to write a Christmas song, which became basically the White Christmas for Japanese Christmas music.
Right.
I think the same thing may have happened here with Hey Reporter, because at the time, and as you said, Maria and Tatsuro were getting married in that year. Mm-hmm. And apparently, of course, with that announcement, they were being basically mobbed and reported on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by the media and fans and everything like that, which is something I'm sure Tatsuro was not too keen about, and certainly Maria wasn't.
Yeah.
So I think this was kind of his I'll Get You song, and he came up with the song Hey Reporter, which was very, very different from the rest of the tracks on For You.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this was like him. I don't want to say it's attacking like tabloids or whatever, but basically like this is him, riffing on just the relentless beast that is Japanese media.
Yeah, they're very relentless about that sort of thing. So in a way, I think it's a little bit like what happens in Great Britain as well with the tabloids there. But yeah, it's a very unusual song to be sure. For even for a Tatsuro Yamashita song.
Yeah, like I said though, it is I think it's a good song. It's just not one of my favorites.
Yeah. I guess if we're on that restaurant analogy here, it's like you're in a sushi restaurant having these fine dishes, and the waiter suddenly comes out with a half-pound beef tenderloin for you.
Yeah, there we go. I think that's a better way to say it, because it's just like it feels like a mood whiplash, right? It's like it's like eating a meal where you're just like you're eating sushi the whole time, and suddenly cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, yeah, here you go. It's like, would you like some wasabi on that too? It's like,
yeah. So I think that was my initial impression of it, but overall, it is a good song.
It's hard to imagine Tatsuro Yamashita making bad songs. And Hey Reporter is definitely not a bad song. Kind of a little bit off on another tangent, though.
Yeah, I think that. Couldn't have said it better. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dreaming, and in my dream, I see your eyes.
Man, breathtaking. It's probably one of his best English songs in general. What's great about it is that it's not too long and it's not too short either. And it's a really good saxophone solo to kind of balance things out.
That's right. Just a shade over 3 minutes.
And it doesn't overstay its welcome either.
Yeah, it was for me, it was one of the first Tats songs that I ever heard. And it happened to be this amazing ballad. Yeah, this amazing ballad, and it was just like marveling, wow, this guy's a Japanese guy, and he's like singing in really good English, and especially at the very end when he says, when he kind of screams out, I love you, I love you.
I love
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I was kind of wondering, I was like, well, okay, who was he trying to emulate here? Was he? I'm not sure if there was a particular '60s singer who kind of ended his songs that way or something. But I thought it was like, yeah, it was remarkable just for that, just for the fact that he was able to deliver this really kind of like this love-stricken ballad like in this way, totally in English, with all of the flourishes and stuff, eh?
Absolutely. I think this is one of those songs where it's like only he could pull it off.
Yeah, I would agree.
I can't think of anybody else singing this song better than Tatsuro Yamashita.
Yeah, it was supposed to have been written for Maria Takeuchi.
Really?
Yeah, but for whatever reason, it just became his song. And Maria wouldn't be able to finally sing it until about 31 years later, and when it was released as a single in 2013 for her. So yeah, more interesting thing was that it was also made for a commercial, which happened to be for the company known as Nisui in Japan, which is a company that develops fish products, marine products, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of wondering what the commercial was all about for Your Eyes. I'm not sure if Your Eyes were talking about Maria's eyes were a mackerel's eyes or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I've never heard of that. I didn't know that was for a commercial. I've never seen the commercial on like YouTube or anything.
No, I'm gonna have to see if I can find it somewhere out in YouTube land.
That's
it's
funny.
Possible.
Is this for a fish commercial?
Yes. Yes, I very much doubt he was trying to send a tribute to like a glassy-eyed mackerel or a grouper or something like that.
I don't think so.
No, I think it's safe to say let's say Maria. I think that'll be probably good.
That's a good guess. Okay, that's I didn't know that. Really great song. I love it.
It's a great song.
They could have ended there, but we got a single that came out the same year that was added to the re-releases of For You, and it's another one of my favorite songs on the album, and it's called Amaku Kiken Nakauri. So that was Amaku Kiken Nakauri, also known as That Dangerous Sweet Sin.
It's actually used as the theme song for a drama on TV back with the same title as well.
I'm noticing a trend that was also the case for My Sugar Babe from time. There was a drama. Was the drama also called My Sugar Babe, or was it just the theme song?
I think it was just a theme song for that one. In that case.
Yeah, a lot of Tats songs seem to be popular with syndicated television. Yeah, I think there was the first one actually that I saw, the tie-up between Tats and drama was what? I think it was an Endless Game back in '89 for I think it was some sort of romance suspense drama called Yuaku or Temptation back then. For me, it was,
far.
For me, it was Good Luck with Right on Time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The airplane drama.
Yes, with Takuya Kimura as the pilot.
Yeah.
Who, of course, he has to be a rebellious pilot. So
here's the thing: he's not all that rebellious. He just has, I guess, maybe because I'm a stupid gaijin or whatever. I guess I have a different standard for rebellion.
Yeah.
But back to the.
What did you think of the song?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's like the perfect combination of what I like about Loveland Island, but also Love Talking. It's got that tropical feel to it, but it's also got that laid back like R&B groove, and that has a lot to do with the fact that this song was inspired by a song by Curtis Mayfield called "Trippin' Out."
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I listen to it, I think there's also something very kind of old-fashioned about it, almost like the the standards that I used to listen to when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
So it's, I mean, especially with Tatsuro's piano solo, just the way he was playing it kind of reminded me of some of those old records I used to hear. Instrumentals by people like Peter Nero or maybe some of the stuff I heard by Henry Mancini way back when in the 1960s or so.
Yeah, so we're talking like standard standards. Okay.
Yeah, very much the really old standards or so. So I thought there was something kind of like old-fashioned about the song as well.
Right. That doesn't surprise me, considering, once again, going back to Tats's influences. A lot of Tats songs tend to do that, especially when you listen to stuff like Moonglow, which is just chock full of that stuff. Like Storm is very much a ode to the Quiet Storm R&B movement that was established back in the '60s by why did I forget his name?
Smokey?
Thank you,
Robinson.
Smokey Robinson. I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
By the Smokey Robinson's Quiet Storm, right? But Dangerous Sweet Scent is very specifically like Chicago soul combined with sort of that tropical resort style, and it works. It just works.
Yeah, and again, I guess the horn section is just absolutely amazing. Always love the horn section.
Yeah, they come in at the right time too. It's weird because it's one of those things where they're not prevalent throughout the whole song, I don't think, but they come in at like the right time. When Tatsuro does that sort of move, and you get the horn sort of follow suit, kind of like a call and response.
Yeah, and they don't kind of suddenly show. They don't suddenly show up. They just kind of really come. They fade in and fade out.
Yeah, they kind of just slide in there. Yeah,
and it's just a very, very smooth transition.
Yeah,
which is like one of the.
Agree. So we've listened to, I think, every song from For You. What's your overall census on the album as a whole?
I would say it's probably one of the classic must-have city pop / AOR records in Japan. I think anyone who's still kind of figuring out how do I get into city pop. I mean, this is one of the albums that I would recommend, along with, for example, Right on Time, his 1980 album, for sure. Yeah.
I think that For You has definitely earned the title as Tatsuro Yamashita's best album. All the arrangements are amazing. All of the band members are doing their part. Kazuo Shina on the guitar, Hida Fumitoki on the saxophone, killing it, Hiroshi Sato on the piano. They're just all professionals, and they're all giving it their best. And of course, Tatsuro Yamashita on his iconic Telecaster. It just doesn't get any better. His voice is amazing. He's really going all out in the singing department, and each and every one of the tracks, even the ones that I don't care for, well, the only one that I don't care for, are amazingly memorable and iconic for various reasons. I think anybody who wants to hear the best city pop has to offer should start with For You by Tatsuro Yamashita.
Just one thing on the remastered, the re-released album for this. There's also one other song that was on part of it, which is the very last one after all the variations of Amaku Kiken Kaori.
Really?
And he did his own version of Every Night, which was Maria's song on the Miss M album. So he's just coming up with all the Christmas gifts. Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us on today's review. I hope you enjoyed the music, and I hope you enjoyed our reactions. Let us know in the comments below what album you would like us to review next on the channel. Until next time, though, I'm Rocket Brown.
And this is Jay Canuck.
And you're listening to Come Along Radio. We'll see you around.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates.